Hello everyone, I welcome you all to our channel. Let's learn automation. So in a previous video, we have seen how we create the basic architecture of Selenium, and now we are going to see what kind of project we are going to automate. So I will just open Chrome, and here I just enter one URL like sourcedemo.com. So this is the one of the, we can say, retail type of application. Here we have the login page, and we need to enter some credential. After login, we can see that there are some products are available like bag, t-shirt, then jacket. We can purchase it, like we can add in a cart. So these are getting added to the cart. Then after adding, we just go for the checkout and the further things. So this is what the retail application, we can say that, and we are going to automate this one. Now, as this is the application we need to automate. So we already created the basic structure or architecture to create the framework. So what is the first task we need to do? That we need to open the browser and enter the URL. This is the very first task we need to do with the our framework or project. So let's move to our project. This is our project. Now I will close this file. We already know how to create this. So I will close this for now. And what I told you, that we need to open the browser and enter the URL. So this is the first task, or we can say that this is the first test case we need to automate. So let's decide that we have the test case like to open the browser and enter the URL, or to open the application, we can say. So in a Selenium or in our project, what I will do, I have the four folder. So from that four, I will select src test java, and here I will create one package, and I will give the name like test cases, because our actual test cases will be reside in this particular package. And now this is the package name like test cases, but here we can see that we have the multiple pages, like this is the login page. After login, we got the inventory page. After inventory, we can see that there is a cart page. So there are multiple pages. So depending upon this application, we are going to create the multiple pages. So this is the very first page. So as for this particular page, to create the test cases, we will create one class like new class, and the name will be like login page test. This is the simple name. Login page is our page, and test, because we are going to write down the test cases, and finish. We doesn't require the main method over here because that is not necessary. Now this is our class, and now we need to create the test cases. For to create the test cases, we need to use the annotation like @test. So this is the test ng annotation @test, and here I will create one method like public void, and I can say uh, init initialization. Initialization means what, we can say that I'm just going to open the browser and enter the URL. Now to open the browser, we already integrate one uh, jar file, like we are using the WebDriver manager. So I'm going to use the WebDriver manager class, like here WebDriver manager dot Chrome driver dot setup. Then I need to create one instance variable of driver, like a driver. So WebDriver, then driver equals to new Chrome driver. So this is what the instance variable I created, and then I need to write down or open the URL like driver dot get, and here I will enter the URL. So to enter the URL, I will just copy the URL from here and will paste it here. So this is the code to open the browser. And what else we can do? like we can maximize this window. So driver dot manage dot window dot maximize. So this is the code for maximize, and after that I will close the browser, driver dot close. So this will be the too fast process, so I will just use some wait like thread dot sleep of 3 second. Now I just need to mouse over and add the throw declaration. So what I have done, I just created one test case which is going to open the browser and enter the URL or a project URL, and then it will close the browser. So what I will do, I will try to run it. Now the thing is like how we can run this, as we don't have any main method, but here we are using the testng, and here we have the testng annotation at the rate test. So whenever I right click on this particular class, and I got the option like run as testng test. So when I'm going to select this particular test case or this particular code will be run. So it started execution, and now what we are expecting, that browser will be open, URL will be entered, will wait for the 3 second and it will close the browser. So this is successfully done. Now this is what we can say, that we just open the browser and enter the URL. But if we check the particular application, then we can say that the first test case or the very basic test case will be like verify the title and verify the URL of application. So these are the uh, first two initial test cases of any project, like to verify the title and to verify the URL. So for that we'll create further more test cases. But now what happened here, like to execute every test case, and every test case should be independent. So what we need to do, we need to open the browser, then we need to get the title or we need to get the URL, and then we need to verify. So this is the steps we need to carry out. Okay, but here what we are doing, we are opening the browser itself. So what we can do here, like we'll just we can use like at the rate before method. This is one more annotation. Okay, and what I will do, I will just shift all those things here. So this is what we can say, that the prerequisite to run any test case means what? First of all, WebDriver or we can say that browser will be open, URL will be entered, and then test case will be executed. So in this particular test case, I will write down the real test case like public void verify title and test. So this is one method. So this particular test case will verify the title. And then what we done means, normally what we are doing, whenever we are going to execute any test case, first of all we open the browser, then the test case will get executed, and after that we need to close the browser too. So for that what we will do, as we are using the before method, in the same manner we need to use the after method too. So just like at the rate after method. Okay, and here I will use one method like public void close browser. So this method I will use. Okay, now what is happening, this code is what we can say, that we are going to use this code multiple times. Okay, so it's not good way to keep this code in our test case or test class, we can say that. So what I will do, I will just shift this code into somewhere else. So in our project, I will create one package in src main java, and we'll give the name like, we'll create the package and we'll give the name like base, base, base. So this is the base package, you can say. Now in this base package, I will create one class. The name is like test base. So this is one class, and here what I will do, I will just shift that method here. Okay, so I will just shift cut or shift this method into base class like here, and this is what at the rate before method, and here I will create another method like public void and setup. The name can be anything. Okay, setup is done. So this is what the before method, then this is the actual test case, and this is the after method. So what it mean, so whenever we are going to run any test case, so for running of the test case we need some prerequisite. Prerequisite means what? Open the browser, enter the URL, then test case will be run, and at last browser will be closed. So this sequence will be followed for the running of every test case or execution of every test case. Now we have written the method of initialization over here. So what I will do, I will try to call this method over here. Okay, because I just need to minimize the code, so that's why I shift the initialization method from this to test base. And now I will try to call this method init. So now we cannot see the method name over here because there is no connection between these two classes. Okay, this test base class and login page test class are totally separated. So what I need to do, I just need to connect these two classes. Okay, so for that I will extend this class like extends and with test base, test base. So now both the classes are connected, and here I use the extend word, means I use the inheritance concept. So now I try to access the initialization method. So this method is accessible over here, but there is some, yeah, I need to add throw some exception because we use the thread.slip. Now initialization method is accessible over here. So this method will do, this method will open the browser, maximize it, and then enter the URL, and also it is going to close the browser too. But now we don't want to close the browser before executing the test case. What we required that the browser should get open, URL will get enter, then test case will be run, and after running of test case or execution of test case, the browser should be closed. So what I will do, I will delete this code from here. Okay, and I can say I will write down this code here like driver dot close, but we cannot have the close method over here because driver doesn't belongs to this class. Driver belongs to test base class. So what I need to do, and in a test base class the driver is what, this is the local instance variable. So what I need to do, I just need to make it as a global. So I will just copy this and make this global like this, and we'll delete this declaration because their declaration should be once, only once. So this is what the global declaration of driver, and now I will try to access the driver, but still I am not able to access the driver because, yeah, we need to make it as a public because both the classes belongs to different classes. This test base class belongs to base package, and this login page class belongs to test package, test cases package. So these are the two different classes, and by default this is the, there is a visibility of default. So what I need to do, I need to make it as a public. So I make it as a public, and now I try to access the driver. So driver dot, now I can access. So now I am able to close the browser too. So this initialization method will open the browser, enter the URL, Then test case will be run, and after that driver or browser will be closed by using this particular code. So the setup is done. Now this is done. So what I need to do now, I need to write down, or I need to write down the code which is going to verify the title. Okay, so how I going to write down this? Like I need to write down like driver dot get title. So this particular method will return the title and I will verify. But as per the standard code, we can say that our test case should not have any logic. Means this in test case or in test class, there should be no logic or no actual code should be available. That should be hidden or that should be written in a somewhere else. So for that, what I will do, I will create one more package in src main Java, and I will create the package like pages, and in pages I will create one class like first page login page. Okay, so this is the first page. So now login page class is created. So I will just give the sequence like first of all test base class, then we have the logic page class, then login page test. So this is login page. Now what I need to do here, so our target is to write down the test case to verify the title. So I will write down one method over here like public void and verify title of application, I can say. So the method name should match with the its work. Now what I will do, I will try to use the driver over here. Driver dot, no, driver is not usable. So first of all I need to extend this. I need to extend this with the test base because our driver is available over there. So now I try to access the driver dot, yes, get title is the method. So now this method will return the title of our web page. Now I need to return this title because this title should reach up to this particular test case method or verify test method. So what I will do, I will return this. Means what I mean to say that whenever I'm going to execute this particular method, title will get returned and this title will be stored in this particular method in some variable, we can say that, and then we will verify. So for that thing particular thing, I need to use the return method over here like return, and here I just need to modify this like string because this driver dot get title return the string. So that's why return driver dot get title, and here I just changed the void to string because this is going to return the string value. Now after this I will, now this is not required actually, so I will delete this. Okay, so what I will do now, I will just call the method which is going to return the title. So to calling that method, this method is available in login page. So what I will do, I will create the login page class object into the login page test class. So here I will use the, or I will use this here, login page login, because this is going to execute every time. Then equals to new, then again login page, no, login page only, not test. So what it says, I need to import it. Okay, let's import it. Okay, so the package is imported. Now we created the object of the login page. Why it is so? Because I need to access the this method like verify title of app in a test class. So here I will use the login dot, but I don't have any option because this login is, we can say that, local variable or local object, we can say that. So what I need to do, I just need to declare as a global like here, and we'll delete this declaration from here. So now this become global, and now let's see, now it is accessible. So I will try to access verify title of app. So here I will get the title of app, and I will store this title into one string variable like string expect, not expected but actual title, okay, like this. And also we need to store the expected title too. So for that I will use one more variable like here expected title, and now we need to get the expected title. So this should be string. So we need to search what is the expected title. So we'll go to the our application like here, and we'll inspect this, and in here in a head, let's see, this is the title. So I will just copy this and paste it in our expected title. So this is what the expected title, this is actual title we are getting from the method, and now we need to compare. If the comparison correct, then test case is passed, we can say that. So for that what I will do, I can say, or I can use like if we can say that expected title dot equals with the actual title, then test case is passed, otherwise test case fails. So we need to use the multiple lines of code, like I can say CISO, and here test case pass, else again CISO test case fail. So this is the 4 line code, and in framework we never use the code like this. So we use the assertion. So we'll delete this and use the assert class over here. AWS assert t assert dot assert equals, and here I will compare these two values like expected title with the actual title. So now our test case completed. So what is happen when I'm going to execute this particular class, this title should be verified or title should be matched. So let's run this. But one thing should be remember that whenever we need to run the test case, at that time we need to run the class where @test annotation is available, or we need to run the test class. We don't need to run the login page, or we don't need to run the test base class, because there is no @test annotation, and so that's why this is not going to execute. Okay, so to run the test case or to run the classes, we need to right click on a login page test or test class like this, run as, and test ng test. Now let's see what happened. So it's running. Okay, and let's see what we got. Okay, it's showing that total test run 1, fail 1. Means our test case fail. So now we need to see what's the reason behind it. So we can see that null pointer exception cannot invoke the title driver title because this driver is null. Okay, the driver is null, they are saying. So what we need to do here, we just need to add one word. Okay, in test base class we just need to add or declare as a static, because driver should be single. Every time a same copy of driver should be accessed by everyone. So that's why we need to create, or we need to make this driver as a static, so by which this driver belongs to class, and one copy of driver or a single copy of driver will be shared by everyone. So now I make it as a static, and let's run it again. Let's see what happened now. So it start executing again. Okay, it's executed. And now we can see that total test run 1, pass 1, fail 0 and skip 0. Means we got successful execution of test case, verify title test. Okay, so in this way we just execute a single test case which is going to verify the title. Now the important thing is like why we make this particular driver as static even public. Okay, so that should be known, and this is what our initialization method which we declare in a test base class, because this method we are going to access multiple time, and if we write down all this code in every login page test, okay, or every test class, so this will make our code bigger and bigger. Okay, so that's why we shift that particular all the code into test base class, and we are directly calling the method of initialization. And now this thread.slip doesn't require, so I will delete this. So now our code become more simpler. So this is our test base class, this is login page class, where one method is available which is going to return the title. Now in the same way I will write down one more test case like this: public string verify, we can say verify URL of application, and here I need to use return driver dot get current URL like this, and I need to create the test case in test class. Here I need to create the one more test case. So as we have one test case over here, in the same pattern I need to create one more. So like this I will use the @test annotation, and then public void, and I will use the same name of method like this and apply the test at the end. So we can relate both the method, like this method and the method from the page class. So here what I need to do, I need to just call the object login dot verify URL of application. So this is the method, and now again I need to store this in somewhere like string actual URL, and in the same way I need to create one more variable. So this is called expected URL, and here I will write down the URL or copy paste URL in double quotation. So here I will get the URL, copy this and paste it here, and again I will verify this by using the assertion. So this is, and for this I need to use the assert equals, and expected URL should be compared with the actual URL. This is done, and now I will try to execute all those things. So let's run it. Okay, one executed and second is also executed. Let's see the result. So now what we can see, that total test case 2 run, pass 2 and fail 0. So what is happening over here? First of all, this before method is going to run, which is going to open the browser and enter the URL. Then one test case will be run, then browser will be closed. Again, for the second test case, again before method will be run, then the second test case will be run, and then after method will be run. So what it mean, that @test will be run only once, and before method and after method will be run multiple time depending upon the number of test case we have in this particular test class. So this is the logic, we can say that. Then after the execution, we can see the report, because TestNG provide the report too. So what we need to do, we just need to right click on our project and click on refresh, Then you can see the test output folder is over here, and I need to select the index.html. Okay, right click that, select index.html, go to properties and copy the location of the file and open in our browser. So I will open in this pattern, and now we can see the run. Like, first of all, setup is run. Let make it short or small. Okay. So first of all, setup is run. Then the first test case, then close browser, then again setup will be run, then second test case and close browser. So setup and close browser will be run multiple time, as they belongs to the at the rate sorry before method and after method. So in this particular session or video, we have seen how to automate the very basic test case which is going to verify the URL and the title of the application. The remaining test case we'll try to automate into the next session. Thank you.